May we humbly bow down to all graces of all Buddhas, Maha-Buddhas, Pacceka Buddhas, Maha-Pacceka Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Maha-Bodhisattvas, all the Arahants, the Maha-Arahants, the grace of fathers and mothers of our lifetimes, all the great gurus, great masters, the grace of Luang Por Posi Surya Khemarato, all the Buddha seeds, all the embodiments of the great perfections. Please hold the space for all of us. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all deluded desires and expectations within life, living life, or just to survive. Holding on to living places, holding on to comforts and conveniences. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all likes and dislikes, satisfaction, dissatisfactions, all the preferences we have choose and prefer, which is create suffering on its own. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all deluded desires and expectations with fathers, mothers, sons and daughters, husbands and wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, relatives, siblings, ancestors, societies, small and large, families, including this planet and all the planets in all universes. This is just temporary existing and is the payback, also temporary payback. Even fixation is also coming and going. It never sustains itself. Let's declare removal and cancellation of all deluded desires and expectations within the ideas of self, which is not really existing. Just the desire, delusive attachment and delusion that is temporarily pushing oneself to grab this and that. And it becomes habitual patterns. It becomes traits and characteristics. It becomes personalities. Let's proceed further than this. We would like also to declare removal and cancellation of all jealousy, comparison, vengeance, all the harbor thoughts to get back to someone, all the intentions, all the projections to obtain, to attain, whether it is worldly or spiritually. We would like also to declare removal and cancellation of all deluded desires and expectations that creates methods and ways to liberate the suffering. Actually, suffering always coming and going. It never fixated to itself. Nothing we have to do. There is no need to react on any karmic payback or the difficulty that is coming and going. We also would like to unlock our karma. Our karma, which is actually the act of grasping. Therefore, whatever that we grasp, which catch on with the graces at any times, rejecting them, refusing their words, opposing the way of the blessing that they have been given to all beings in various forms, rejecting people's sacrifices and giving, or chasing anyone away from their homelands or from the great perfections, chasing anyone to be far away from the great perfections, the Mahaparami. All of these bounce back to oneself to not leading oneself karmically to meet the great perfection at any lifetime. And all the opinions and meanings that we have used towards them, towards that which have no meanings and opinions. It is bouncing back to oneself to always use opinions and meanings towards everything, when everything is not even have or not have. Not having even not having itself. Nothing is not even nothing itself. May all the karma be forgiven from now on. Ahosi, ahosi, ahosi. Let's be awakened. Awaken out of even the awakening itself. Disperse from any states of mind, from any drowning state, from any preoccupation of the mind, of feelings, of emotions, of thoughts, of memories, recollections. Further than all that, just extend the mind further out, not relying on anything particularly, not being specific right now. Automatically, there is no concern right now with anything whatsoever. This is brightening. The brightness that is not fixated to the brightness itself, therefore it becomes a blessing. Blessing samsara to brighten out all the same at any moment. Just extend the mind further than its phenomena. This is not to stop the mind. It is not having the mind or no mind. Everything, think of everything, use the word everything as a guidance. And the mind will be scattered already because it includes oneself as well. But everything is not everything. It is breaking through itself because it's not about anything particularly. Therefore, it breaks through the idea of everything. No meaning. No meaning doesn't have even the meanings of no meaning itself. Let alone you want to give meaning to particular things. Everything is meaningless. Even meaningless is not even meaningless itself. So brighten out, shine brightly, and samsara will follow through accordingly. Whatever you give, if you give the mind to samsara, samsara will follow it. Samsara is already full of mind. So you give the mind, it will clash with the mind. So brighten out. This has nothing to do with having the mind or no mind. Everything. Everything is not related to either relating or not relating. So it's dropping the idea of relating to anything whatsoever or not relating to anything whatsoever. It's not about reacting or acting on anything particularly. Therefore, it's brightening. You can't see it. Human is gross. It cannot realize the brightness. But whenever you are guiding the mind like this, you can be assured that it is brightening. But don't hold on to the brightness, don't hold on to the lightness of the mind. It is still narrow. This is not even about narrowness or extensiveness. You can't fixate on anything at all. Right now, it's not about you or anything. Everything is from that which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging. with anything whatsoever. So proceed continuously with this. This is the blessing. It is giving ending and helping through ending simultaneously. Ending what? Ending the mind that tries to prolong and sustain and maintain itself. That's the one. Because that is samsara itself. That is realms of existence of the mind itself. That is the cause of the suffering itself, actually. If we don't know what it is that is the cause of the suffering, we will continue blindly to actually continue with the cause of the suffering. Because the cause of the suffering and the suffering is the same thing. It's not separated at all. And we move on like that because we are controlled by our cravings, by our desire, by our projection of the mind. Wanting like this, I love this, I love that, I hate this, I hate that. Oh, I like this, I don't like that. How many lifetimes are we going to prolong like this? How many eons of times samsara has been like this? We need to end this. That's why we're giving ending and using ending to help samsara to end and brighten out and help end for each other further and further. And then the delusion and delusive attachment and desire will be ended instantly, right now. We don't wait. There is no future. Now is not even now. So we move on. We can't wait. It's a waste of time to wait for the future, for enlightenment. For what? Enlightenment even a made-up thing. Cut through deluded knowing. Cut through it by giving something that beyond graspable, beyond attachable, beyond attachment or non-attachment. Think of everything and give the essence simultaneously. Then there is the power to scatter into samsara with this enlightenment. The enlightenment is assumed up to be shared, not to hold on and dwell in it. The Buddhas don't dwell in enlightenment, okay? Buddhas shared enlightenment. It means cut through deluded knowing. Then enlightenment is there. Cut through deluded knowing and not knowing. Enlightenment is there automatically without searching for enlightenment or the path to enlightenment, which is the cause of the suffering itself, and it is the suffering itself. There is no need to find methods and ways to liberate yourself from the suffering, because suffering is coming and going. It's discarding itself. That is its nature. Be clear with this. So you don't have to suffer and overlay your mind on top of the suffering, grasping the suffering and sustain the suffering. Suffering never asks for you. Suffering never wants you, but you drown in it. That's why you're suffering for more and more. We don't need to be lost like that. Therefore, begin to give, to share your blessed fortunes, sharing your merits. You are like a balloon ready to explode. Because you're full of merits, you are like bodhisattvas, but you don't know how to channel out your merits and blessed fortune. There are those who have no power at all, the lower realms of existence, and everything else, the pebbles, the rocks, the sand, the soil, the sky, the earth, all the bacteria, all the stuff, things that we touch, things that we use, all the utensils, they all has been left over by karma of the mind. It's garbage. Let's help clear it, unlock it, and then samsara will be enlightened. Isn't it better? Or it's better to preoccupy with the mind and its delusion and its sufferings and this and that, and be controlled by one's own desire and others' desire, and together make societies with this and that, and create a new paradigm of the new desire and delusive attachment and delusion. Where is it going? Let's shift here now. Give the enlightenment to samsara instead of throwing the garbage of mind to each other. Unless that is itself the cause of the suffering. Like I said before, whatever we use to relate with everyone and everything, samsara will be like that. It's already like that, so it's crashing. It's crashing all the time with the senses and sense objects. All the time. Automatic. So we need to shift this automatic to be automatically enlightening altogether. And sometimes we don't need to talk. We don't need to communicate, because whenever we communicate, we create stories out of nothing. Because we want to share. We want to share what? Share the garbage of the mind to each other. And then it's just throwing back and forth with opinions and meanings to each other. This is a trait, habitual patterns. Let's dissolve this instantly when we bless through the extinction, the natural extinction and emptiness. Everything is not related to either relating or not relating. This dissolve that kind of traits, habitual patterns of grasping, of trying to grab something out of each other. The moment you identify things, is already hurting and harming. That's why we need another terminology that has auto-purification in itself, so that the mind is guided in the way without creating traces of karma, traces of desire, delusion, and delusive attachment. Let's proceed further than this and that, yes and no, this is it or this isn't it. Whenever you believe your mind, whenever you trust your mind, you're lost. You are deluded to the desire. You are hallucinated with everything by the desire. And this must come to an end. And by giving ending and helping through ending, it will shift you. You will not be you. You will be dissolved. You will be dissolved. You will be dissolved. They, the idea of self, other self, oneself, will be dissolved automatically and simultaneously. This is not to uphold samsara, not about nurturing samsara in whatever ways. No compromise at all. If you compromise to samsara, you will be continuing in the hallucination of the desire and delusive attachment and delusion, and really unrealized. I guarantee you. So shift. Unless you continue in the same old ways, no one can help you. Samsara is about grasping. We go in the opposite. we give, we share, we brighten out, sharing that which is ungraspable. That's more than just giving materials or sharing materials to each other. Because when you share materials, it turns into merit. Merit is subtle form. How you gonna share the merit? You have to open the mind extensively without identifying whether it is merit or not. That is already a blessing. That is already sharing merit. Share merit that is not merit. That is actually sparkling and igniting the great blessed fortune of the great compassion of blessing samsara together with all the great perfections. This is not about upholding or nurturing anyone's conveniences. No. This is not personal thing. Neither is about the whole. It's dissolve the personal and the whole simultaneously, immediately too. So no compromise. Cut. The result is natural cutting. The result is natural dissolving of the idea of self, without you have to act or react on anything whatsoever, because everything is neither about yes or no, neither about having or not having. Neither about relating or not relating. Everything is like this, is from this. This is the essence, beyond itself, beyond the beyond. Even beyond doesn't exist. You can imagine. But still, we have to assume terminologies that purify themselves, so that everything will be purified simultaneously, all together. And that's it. This is our teamwork, not light workers. We're not stuck with just lightness. We're not a light worker. Beyond this, beyond heaviness and lightness, beyond darkness and brightness. Nothing to hold on to, nothing to grab. In life, there is nothing we can get, gain, obtain, attain. Nothing. Nothing even is not nothing. Be clear with this. So if you pursue life in a way with a purpose, you can dissolve this purpose, because it will mislead you.